What's up, everyone? So I got some rear trailing arms and upper links for the Fcx24. These are from a subscriber, McCue or McCue. Sorry if I butchered that, but if you'd like to check him out, you can scan the QR code and I'll put a link to his Instagram in the description below, as well as his eBay store. So yeah, I just wanted to take a look at the links here, and then off camera I'll install them because I got to do some drive shafts and everything too. So we've got the lower arms and then the upper. So here they are. They look pretty dang good. Quality print here. Nice work, man. And then the lower arms. They actually go on like this because they're trailing arms. The suspension will mount right here, or at least the shock, not, you know what I mean. So yeah, I will get to installing these and we'll be right back. Beforehand, I'm going to test how steep it can climb with just the portal mod. Then I will put them back to stock and we'll compare stock. And then we'll compare one more time with the longer wheelbase just to see what kind of difference we get. Alright, so I moved the portals back to stock. This is a 57-degree climb according to my phone. Let's see if it can do it with the stock portal location. No, definitely can't. I didn't think so. It just flips immediately. Alright, so now let's see how it does with the rear portal clock mod. So this is with the portal clock mod. The ramp is about 57 degrees. I don't think it's going to make it. It didn't make it stock, so I really don't think it's going to make it even with the mod. Yep, over it goes. So now let's try it with the new links and drive shaft. Just for good measure, before we put the links on, I want to try and climb up this. I already know it's not going to make it. See right there? I don't think it makes it on this side either. Especially not if the rock flips up. Nah, it's not going to do it. So I'm curious if the longer rear links will actually help it here too. Alright, okay, so I've got the new links installed. As you can see, it's quite a bit longer, and I also installed the RC all-wheel drive metal drive shafts. These are the Gladiator drive shafts, and they work just fine, no problems there. So I do want to go over a little bit on how to install these, because I watched the Shop Mini RC, I believe it was called, his little tutorial on installing the links, and I noticed he actually installed them upside down. So I want to point that out. Great video, but he did install them upside down. So he was complaining that there's very little movement, and you can see the way I have it. You get full movement, you get full articulation, no problems there. So these lower links, you want them this way. You want the bend down because these are control arms, not necessarily links. And you can see there's a cutout here to clear the chassis, and they actually clear each other. So he had put these in upside down and it was binding real bad on the other link and all that. So you don't want to do that. Now these don't have ball studs. They're just screwed in right here, and then it's kind of countersunk, so it moves around a little bit. Don't over tighten these screws. The upper ones here are fine. You want them a little loose, but it doesn't really matter too much because there's a bushing inside there. In the back, all you do is thread these screws in, and I did keep the ball joint that was in the middle of the 3-link just to kind of cover up the screws so it looks a little better. And same in the rear here. Use the screw, but don't over tighten it. You want to kind of mess with them after you got it all installed so that you have your flex. Now it does limit it a little bit, but there's not a ton I can do about that. If it really gets in a bind, it will get full flex though. As for these drive shafts, they popped right on. One thing I do want to recommend for RC all-wheel drive, these little tiny grub screws, I don't think they're going to stay in. You can see it right there, and there's one on each side if I turn it. RC all-wheel drive, you might want to come up with a screw that goes all the way through that we can lock tight, because these are definitely going to strip out the second I try to get them out. They did come with a little tiny Allen key, but it was slipping when I installed them, so I'm not expecting them to stay on too well. We'll see. As for the ball joints on the bottom of the shocks here, you reuse the ball joints from the stock links. You can see there's some right here. I just popped them out and reused them for the shocks. And that's it. So now let's try what you want to see, the climb test. Can it make it? All right, let's try this again. See if it can make it with this long wheelbase. I don't think these wheels or tires are gonna have the grip. No, they just don't have the grip. Let's try second. It would make it if I took a good run at it. One more try. You can see it's much more stable when climbing. So let's try this other spot. Let's see if it can make it straight up this now with the longer wheelbase. The Gladiator can do this line, but I'm not sure this will do it with these tires. Come on. Oh, it's so close. Let's reposition. Now, if you remember stock, this couldn't make it up this at all. It couldn't go up this angle with the portal clock mod either. I can get that tire over there. Maybe I can get the front end to go into that hole. There it goes. And we're good. Definitely more capable, at least when it comes to climbing with the longer wheelbase. Steering does suffer though, which is part of the drawback of doing a longer wheelbase. Ah, rolled it. Let's see if we can go up around here. Ah, we're hitting the bumper. There we go. Ah. Let's move on to a different spot and see how it does on this dirt hill over here. Now, last spot before we talk a little bit about how it performs now. I have played with it a little bit off camera. I just want to see how it does here. This is a hill I haven't tried yet. I was saving this for on camera, but I've messed around in other spots. It should do a little better with the longer wheelbase, you'd think. But then again, this whole hill is crumbling. All the dirt's falling off of it. Ah, attempt one fail. Let's try one more attempt. I think I need to redo this hill. It's gotten almost impossible for most things. Oh, there goes that rock up there shifting. We got it. Nice. I definitely need to fix that hill up. Now let's try the backside quick and we'll do a little chat. So I don't expect it to have any trouble here whatsoever. This is a pretty simple spot, so I'm going to try to take a more difficult path. As you can see, those drive lines are working just fine. Oh yeah. We're good. Alright, let's go over and talk a little bit about it. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about these upgrades. These links to lengthen it, definitely worth it. If you can only afford one upgrade to start, I would definitely recommend getting these links. It helps a ton when it comes to climbing and stuff. It does affect the steering circle, but any longer wheelbase will do that, or widening the stance will affect your turning circle too. Now, as for the drive shafts, great drive shafts if you want to check them out. The only pet peeve I have is these little tiny grub screws are so tiny. They should just swap them out for a regular screw that goes in here. It would be much easier, especially if it's got a head on it that you can actually fit a normal Allen key into. The one that it comes with worked, but a few of these screws are off enough that they felt kind of stripped from, well, out of the box or bag. So definitely work on that. RC all-wheel drive, I know you can do a little bit better job with these little screws, because when you put them in, they shouldn't strip out as soon as they stop, and a couple of them actually felt like they did. So we'll see how long those hold up. Otherwise, I don't see them breaking anytime soon. Same with these links. And yeah, there's not really a whole lot more I can say. These tires are awesome in dirt, but they're not very good on rock. That may change if I can get a hold of the softer version of these, but for now, awesome dirt tires. I'm sure they'll do good in the mud. I didn't put my mudslingers on because it turns out the Kinetic KMS wheels that I have them on don't work. They actually hit the portal real bad, so I wasn't able to try those out. I'll have to put them on a different wheel or something. So yeah, I am waiting for some more stuff from McCue or McCue, however you want to say it. He's got a brush guard for the front, and there's the normal style that I think Psycho13 Garage has on his. And then he's got one that's got teeth in the middle, and I think I could do something pretty cool with that. I do want to get a 3D printed bed or do something for the rear here to match this wheelbase. It looks better than this, and these things pop out like every time you roll. So that's not too fun to deal with, but you know, oh well, I'll deal with it. So yeah, great little rig. I'm enjoying this more than the Fcx24s because it's a little bit bigger. It's a little bit more capable overall because of that. It's actually closer to 1/18th scale, I'd say. And that's because if you put it next to the FJ scaler, it's almost the same size. Little shorter stock, but it's definitely a little bit wider too. So not really 1/24 scale. This is definitely 1/18th scale. So naturally, it's going to go over bigger obstacles. The 2-speed, I love it because I like to do hill climbs and stuff, and that extra wheel speed helps a ton when it comes to hill climbs. And you can actually bash it around, have fun. It's very much like a little TRX4. So yeah, if you're looking to upgrade, as I said before, these links are a great first upgrade. I would definitely recommend some better wheels and tires too out of the box. As for the drive shafts, I haven't broken the stock one, so I can't really comment on that, but I've heard of a lot of people breaking them like right out of the box on the first run. If you want to avoid that, say you can't afford drive shafts, when you get in a bad bind and it takes more than like half throttle, or it's just not moving at that, pick it up and reposition it instead of breaking apart. Don't push it and push it and push it until something snaps, because I know a lot of people do that and then they blame the RC for it. Even in a real truck, if you're in that bad of a bind and you just start hammering on the throttle, you're going to break something. So yeah, so far it's held up fine. I haven't had any stripped gears, haven't had any problems in that department. Awesome little rig. I'll take it up on the hill here soon so that we can really test it out with the new wheelbase and everything. Should be a lot of fun. So yeah, as always, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't yet, that helps out, and be sure to share the video. That helps out the most out of anything, because the more views we can get, the more subscribers we can get, the more I can make to actually afford better upgrades for any of these RCs or to do some cool builds. So yeah, I'll talk to y'all in the next one. TTFN.